I'm William Yeske, and I served within the U.S. Army Infantry 82nd Airborne, and in 2009 and 10, I deployed to the Arghandab River Valley. These are my archives. We had to drive pretty much like an hour convoy to where HHC or anything was. So any mission that we ended up doing down the highway, we'd have to go from that compound, go to where headquarters was, where the CO was, get the briefing, and then back out to the highway to go run like a 3 to 5 day training mission, training up the different outposts out there. Oh my God, like literally Lash was such a clusterfuck. We'd take different routes all the time. I have no idea which road this specific one was. Okay, so now we're getting into the Arghandab. You're gonna see 2 Kiowas circling around. So that was our close air. We have those guys pretty constantly. This is the 101st. One of their pilots sent forward this footage to me, which I thought was freaking nuts. But this is just showing on how dense the valley was. So in a second, you're gonna be able to see the guys walking the road down here. But that's like their views. Like you can't see into any of the orchards. Everything was so freaking dense.
Okay, here we go. Visual on lead, my right door, straight down now.
You're gonna see the patrol right there in that bend. And you can't even see the lead man in the patrol. You're gonna see on the Kiowa here too, and I know some people are familiar with this, but you're gonna see a little X on the windshield there. The Kiowa is so bare bones, that's how you target. It's just a little Sharpie on the freaking window there.
In the road. I'm set up. Coming in from the
I mean, the Kiowas were a godsend.
There's a walled road right where my rocket hit, man. Smoke that fucking road. I got muzzle flashes. Roger. Outright. I know, we're about to get reengage the target over. Oh, the trees, baby. We got it, baby. Good copy, over.
You see down below, you can actually see a Black Hawk coming around, and they pop purple smoke. So that was Sergeant Jarvis was hit. They went out to Kandahar. This is why you couldn't go anywhere mounted in that valley. The guys before us tried it with strikers, and I mean that just ended up absolutely horrible for them.
Oh, dude, what if that car is that I see? And I'm gonna film it.
There's a bomb team down in the valley, and again, this is where the guys caught them on thermals, and they're watching them, and they started seeing them and place something. And you have across, you're gonna see lasers here, and they start to take the shot. So that's scouts over on 160. So our CO called up and said, hey, we got a javelin lock on this group of guys. And battalion calls back and they're like, hey, negative, don't take that shot. We have scouts that have a beat on them, and we're going to take them out that way. And the funny thing is, the scouts didn't have their M14s up. They didn't have a javelin on it. So they took the shot with an, unsilenced 240 and just completely blew it. Like, missed the shot. The guys see him scatter. And you can hear him commenting in the background about it. And it was just, a complete clusterfuck. The story back from it was that the CO learned his lesson that day, and that when he has positive ID on it and he has him dead to rights, just take the shot. Don't call up asking permission for it. EOD started running something to where we had so many bombs and so many different bips that we would pop off. There'd be like 3 instances in a week, finding them or hitting them. But if you found it, the EOD guys kind of put out the incentive to that. Hey, if you find it, you get to blow it. So this one here is Parker got handed the freaking, little shock tube, and those guys got a kick out of it freaking every time, just freaking getting to blow whatever they found. So this was Parker popping one, and this is the second attempt. I guess they botched it the first time.
Look at this fucking piece call. Get the guy who pulled it. Affirmative action. That worked for you.
Parker gets banged.
I thought Lynch was gonna fuck that up again somehow.
Horse IED. This horse, you know, there was a occasional livestock and stuff that would be around, but this particular horse hit an IED that was meant for us in one of the main roads, you know, blew the thing apart. And, you know, it's unfortunate and stuff, but we're like, okay, one less that we got to worry about, right? Well, the enemy went back like a day later and they stuffed the horse with an IED inside of that thing. So the guys go buy the next time thinking, hey, that's you know, no one's going to want to go buy this rotting corpse of a freaking horse. And this thing just blows up. You know, you've got a whole nother level, and that's where they're like, okay, we just need to get rid of this freaking thing. This horse is blown up twice already. That's called beating a dead horse. Afghan style.
Okay. Couple things have happened today. One, Rangers crashed the helicopter. Not unlike a movie you've probably seen, right behind us here.
Rangers actually did crash a helicopter, but as the Rangers were going out to continue mission, they found an IED, which Sergeant Logan took the opportunity to film the BIP in only a way that Sergeant Logan could. This clip actually ended up going viral on TikTok.
We've been sitting here since 2 o'clock this morning. We've been attacked about 30 times. RPG almost hit me and my boys right over here, about 10, 15 meters away. Scared the crap out of me. And now basically we're just waiting on them to attack again because the sun's starting to go down. Typically they attack around this time. But we're ready for them now. We got the saw over here, and we got Rangers piddling around the helicopter. I don't know if they're working on it. There they are. Go ahead and get the gun up.
Makes it out to be that they're in contact. But really what was happening was just timing. He knew they were going to BIP one. And I mean, he was just a ham, man.
Guess it's going to be a long night.
31st March, the day after Staff Sergeant Scott Brunkhorst was killed in an IED incident. And this was literally right after a boots and rifle ceremony. And an RPG team just decides to take a shot at freaking Cop where all 3 platoons had elements of everybody there. We just had Kiowas come in. I mean, they lit these freaking guys up.
Fucking awesome.
There we go. Look. There goes the gun run.
Seeing what damage they can do to the enemy coming through there and the eyes they had on. I mean, we wrecked them. The dumbest time you could find to attack, freaking when everybody's aggro as hell because their buddy's just been killed. So this is outside the town of Diakache. So that right there, they're landing in the basically the riverbed. So Diakache was a hot spot for a lot of things, and this is being taken from where 2nd Platoon was staying. They were actually staying in a compound in that town, and I think this particular one might have been the second compound. The first one that they were in actually got blown up. The enemy ended up driving a 2,000-pound V-bid right up as close as they could, and as soon as they were, kind of had, if you will, detonated it, flattened the freaking compound everybody was in. Guys were buried alive. This one in particular is just a local that got hurt. I know sometimes we'd have like kids and stuff. It got bad to the point to where the enemy started putting in like tripwires and stuff, using like tape filament and stuff, and kids ended up hitting them. I remember one in particular at Cop Johnson. You know, you had an elder with a kid that's just bleeding out in his arms. You know, comes up and is like, you know, we need help. They call in for a medevac, couldn't get him out, and it's, you know, that's a death sentence for someone like that. So I mean, we could help out where we could, but it wasn't always possible sometimes, just because of, you know how air can get, and then especially if you're pushing air assets to local nationals, they're like, well, hey, U.S. troops are going to take priority here.
We walked through the lovely top field. Great steer spine. Clear.
So this is the other side of Afghanistan, where a whole bunch of ganja is being grown. And this is early in the season, because these plants would get, I mean, I've never seen plants that are 8 feet tall.
I mean, look at it. All these small, beautiful little plants.
The valley was so fertile that you could grow anything just about anywhere. So, I mean, it's known for its pomegranates and stuff, but if they're going to grow a cash crop, they're going to start putting in stuff like this, like, you know, just fields and fields of huge freaking weed plants. You know, you have the connoisseurs out there too, freaking, oh, check this out. Look at the buds on this one.
Pot plants and landmines. This is favorite thing in the field.
You had to wonder, like, all right, I'm smelling some at night. I never partook in any of it. And, like, I know First kept it pretty tight, but you would occasionally smell that stuff coming from the bottom of the towers. And you're like, dude, I know someone's freaking taking bong hits with the Afghans that were, you know, we were in a compound with Afghan police, and sometimes the guys would chum along with them.
Thanks for watching this episode of Archives, a new series from Vet TV that puts the spotlight on you, the veteran. We all have footage from combat, the barracks, and the everyday chaos of military life. Archives is about more than just preserving that footage. It's about bringing those moments to life through the stories of the veterans who lived them. Have a story to tell? Submit your footage and a short synopsis to archives@veterantv.com to be interviewed and featured in an upcoming episode of Archives.
Freeze! Smart!